The time has come for the lioness to tell her own story.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hail them high, hail the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come spread out them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight and easy.
What was the first time you became aware of the Emperor? You talked about Bob Marley, big up Bob Marley, but when was the first time you became aware of this King of Kings?
Through literature,
Okay.
through reading and but being aware of Haile Selassie and knowing Haile Selassie
Yes.
are two different things, as you
Yes,
know.
yes.
I would say the time that I really became aware of, knew who His Majesty is, and I don't say was, present tense, who His Majesty is, was through visions.
Okay.
Through His Majesty coming and speaking to me directly,
Okay.
and letting me know, if you're on this journey, the doors are open for you, and I mean that. All you have to do is call on my name.
Wow. Powerful. So, what was the first book you read in terms of, because you're an academic, so we're going to get into some book titles because I want the audience grab them pen and paper. We're going to go through, this is the reading Ras, so once I have an intellectual superhero, who you could have called her, we want to get to, some of the literature. What were some of the early books that you read about the Emperor?
About the Emperor. Well, of course, it's autobiography.
Yes, crucial.
Right. Goodness. Oh, wow. You stumped me reading Ross. You did. I know all of them. I just can't.
Yes. And it's okay if they come up. The autobiography is powerful, and I could imagine the selected speeches.
The formative years of Haile Selassie. I want to say The Lion of Judah had prevailed.
Yes, that's a key one. These are seminal books in the tribe that you go through.
Right. I read a lot of books that dealt with Rastafari in general.
The culture itself.
Right, the culture.
So like Barry Chevan's book.
And Dread by the Roman Catholic priest.
Yes.
Rastafari, A Way of Life. But you know what books really inspired me the most?
Which ones?
The Agitations of Rastafari. The Agitations of Rastafari.
Yes.
You remember those little books? There were like 3 of them.
And they had pictures and very visual.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I had no idea what Hill's life was. And even though I'm a city woman, right, I would just look at those books and see those beautiful pictures of Rastafari, people living in the hills, and say, just something within me felt like, that's the way to be. Also, the film Rastafari Voices. You remember that one?
Yes.
I remember there was an elder female on there, and she took down her locks, and she said, Babylon can never catch me all without my wires. And she had a phrase, she talked about ideological iris. And I said, wow, ideological iris that traversed the world. And, some really deep things that touched me,
Powerful. And then you were, when you fully embraced the child, how old were you and what year are we talking about?
I was 16. So, so about 86. Yeah, 86, I believe. No, 87, because I graduated high school a year early.
So what's different about then and now? Because you don't hear about 16-year-olds embracing the church. I mean, I was at Howard University when I embrace the tribe. But even that, really see that, and this is one of my concerns, even what motivated the Lion Voice Network to get more active, because I'm not seeing what has changed, you think, from that time to this time. And we're going to continue with the chronological journey, don't worry yourself. But I want to just, there's so much. What do you think has changed in terms of that time to this time?
Well, I think during that time, Rastafari was a bit more prevalent, in certain communities.
Yes.
The beauty of Rastafari was still rare. The beauty of locks was still rare. So when you saw a Rasta person, it really did pique your interest. Now you see a person with locks, there's nothing to ask them. When you saw a person with locks in those days, you wanted, why is your hair like that? Are you from Jamaica? All the standard questions. Now, everyone and their mother has locks. So the curiosity has somewhat dulled, I think. But that's also a question that I'm concerned with as well, because there's this lack of a continuum, as far as women my age, even reaching sisters who are in their 30s. I don't know what a 30-year-old Rastafari woman thinks. I don't know what an 18-year-old Rastafari woman thinks, And so it's ironic that on July 1st at Lalibela Institute, I'm hosting an intergenerational Rastafari women's brunch for Sisters in Miami. Just come through, it's free, eat, let's sip, and let's have Jerusalem schoolroom. I need to get into your heaven.
Yes. It's crucial. My channel is not all Rastafari people, so I want to make it relatable. The 1980s, this is the era of Uncle Luke in South Florida. You are now going into, I know the thing to it. You are now completely removing yourself from this culture. I could imagine your friends, because even I grew up in Toronto. That's what we were getting from Florida them time, that we used to wait for them songs there to touch the road so we could, how was that contrast, between that culture? Jamaica, we have the similar dancehall culture, but here, this is a huge part of the culture for Black people. How was that navigating these two clashing
Well, it's interesting because I attended the Seminole high school in Miami, Miami Northwestern Senior High School, where Luke attended. The Miami Northwestern Bulls. I mean, we're renowned, and so it was really, I think, because I want to attribute that to me being an only child, and I think that only children they always go within. I didn't have, siblings, so I always read. I always thought, because I was raised by my grandparents, I wasn't
soul kind of
exactly, and so that is what allowed me to transition so seamlessly, really, into Rastafari, because I have been thinking about life, and then I go on to become a philosopher. So I've always been very thought oriented. So.
And it's Rasess the first of the Almighty. When there are set thrones of judgment to judgment, thrones of the house of the great King David, I shall pray for the peace of Ethiopia and Africa. Well, every night, argument, morning come, sorry about how hard you went. No make your heart get hard like some sweat cement. Black woman got to exercise patience. Every night, argument, morning come, sorry about how hard you went. No make your heart get hard like some sweat cement. Black man got to exercise patience. Got to change the frequency. Seems like we disagree frequently. Mama shopping spree interfere with school fee. Daddy they a dance a floss for Hennessy. Every night them fight mostly over money. Who gonna stand up fight for the family? Haile Selassie, might of the Trinity. Crowned with his queen with a baby in her belly. Still, every night another argument. Morning come, sorry about a argument. Now make your heart get hard like some said cement. Black woman got to exercise patience. Every night another argument. Morning come, sorry about a argument. Now make your heart get hard like some said cement. Black man got to exercise patience. There's no need to raise your voice. Let's live in a one harmony. Together we can make that choice to live as one family. And please don't disturb the children's sleep. Be careful what you say, remember words cut deep. Sometimes it's better if you just sit in silence. Time to end this cycle of violence.